I'm going to take that and shove it in here. Okay, so then my equation, my lower equation becomes x squared plus 4 minus x quantity squared minus 4x equals 0. So x squared plus 16 minus 8x plus x squared minus 4x equals 0, which gives me 2x squared minus 12x plus 16 equals 0. And at this stage I can divide by 2's to get smaller numbers, and I get x squared minus 6x plus 8 equals 0. Well, this looks like it's factorable, so I should get x minus 4 and x minus 2. So x is either equal to 4 or x equals 2. So this looks like x should have been 4 here. Okay, that should have been a 4. And we'll fix the y in a minute. And this guy, we can see that this should have been an x equals 2. Okay, so if I draw my graphs properly, I would have gotten better answers there. Okay. Alright, so now that I've got x as 4 and y as 2, I can take these answers and plug them back in here, and my y values correspondingly would be 0. That's interesting. 4, 0. So this line's not right at all. This line should have been coming out through here. So for some reason my line's not right. But you get the idea about how to do this. It's kind of hard to do this without a graph paper. So when you're working on this at home, I assume you're going to use graph paper if you want the correct answers. Okay. And then when x is equal to 2, I get y is equal to 2. So 2, 2 is one answer. So this looks like it's a 2, 2. And it looks like this guy is 4, 0, a 0 answer. Okay. Let's make sure that they do work by plugging into both equations. So come back here and plug it in here. We kind of did it on this one there. So let's plug it in the bottom one, and what do we get? I get 4 plus 4 minus 4 times 2. That is equal to 0, so that works. Okay. How about 4, 0? So remember, this is 4, 0. Come back and plug it into this bottom equation, and I get 16 plus 0 minus 16 equals 0. So that is indeed true. Okay, so both of these work. Okay. Again, I apologize for the graph. Doesn't quite intersect where it should be. My guess is that I haven't done a good job on graphing these, particularly the circle. Let me go back and review. I'm kind of really annoyed that it's not working out to be the right graph. So when x is 0, y is 4. When y is equal to 0, x is 4. Oh, there it is. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The graph should go through this point. The line should go through that point. So, wow. I've been really smoking here. Let's see. I want black. I want my straight edge. And I said that this is, let me erase this stuff here. That's all kind of pretty bad stuff. Don't want to do that. Blue. And now, okay, let's see if that works. Black pen. I know it's going through there. And here's my line. Okay, that's my line that represents the first equation. And so, yeah, that kind of makes sense that that's 4, 0. So again, please notice that I have really taken extra steps to be careful, to redo things, and that's what math is all about. Okay, so really on this lecture I'm teaching you a lot of other skills as well, like perseverance and tolerance and getting things done right. Okay, this may be the last example. I'm not sure. Let's take a look. Oh, we have a word problem to do. I hope this is the right page. So number 71, page 483, and break-even analysis. Yeah, it's the right page. So let's do this one here. Okay. You need to read the problem, and I need to read it too. It's a break-even. A small software company invests $16,000 to produce a software package that will sell for $55.95. Each unit can be produced for $35.45, right? The cost and revenue functions for X units produced and sold. Okay, so we're going to use C for the cost equation, C standing for the cost variable. There are X units being produced, and each one costs $35.45 to produce. So the cost function has actually, it invests $16,000. So that's an upfront cost, okay? So you got to have the upfront cost. It's called a capitalization cost typically, okay? $16,000 to build a factory or whatever, and then it's going to cost you $13.45 per unit to produce one gizmo, okay, and one whatever. Oh, software. It says software, so presumably it's games since you guys are all gamers. And then there's a revenue function, and I'll use R for revenue. Okay? And for revenue, it's straight out. There is no investment in there. It's 5595x. 5595x. Okay? So there are your two equations. Use a graphing utility to graph the cost and revenue functions in the same viewing window. Use a graph to approximate the number of units that must be sold to break even. Okay, so break even means that how many units do you need to make so that the cost is equal to the revenue? That's break even. Cost is equal to revenue. Well, these are nasty numbers, so we'll need to put this on an n box. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and obviously the equation is going to be y equals. Okay, so this one will be in y1. This one will be in y2. Okay? All right, so turning on, clear my equations, and my top one is 16,000 plus 35.45x. Check that. Okay, and the bottom one is 55.95x, and graph that. Well, you know, the graphing is not going to work because the scale is kind of really weird, because you can see the number is like 16,000 for the Y scale. Let me see if zoom fit works. So I'm going to do zoom. I think it's 0. Yeah, zoom 0. Let's see if that fits in. Oh, so here's one equation. Here's the other equation. It's not quite fitting in there. I'm going to manually have to change the windows then. I know that my x-min cannot be 0, right? Cannot be negative. I'm going to make, I don't know, I'm going to guess on how many units I'm going to need. Let's say if I start out with 500 units, just like that. My y's cannot be negative, and I'll make this guy 20,000. Let's see if that works better. And graph that. There's one equation, here's another equation. So it's still not quite intersecting, so I need to move the y scale up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go out to 50,000 on this one. Okay, and see if that works. Okay, so you can see that they are intersecting quite further to the right here, which means I need to change the x scale, and I'm going to make my x max to be 1,000. Right there. Okay, now you can see the graphs intersecting. Okay, so where the two lines intersect is called a break-even point. In other words, the break-even point is the number of units you need to make in order to make the cost and the revenues be the same. So now you can go second calc, intersect, which is number 5. Move the cursor closer to the intersection point. That's good enough there. Enter. Second curve. Enter. Guess no. Enter. And so your x is, your x is 780.4878. So it looks like x is equal to 781 units. Okay. In other words, if you make 781 games, there are 781 suckers out there who are going to buy it, and you will have made just enough money to survive. But your goal is to be a millionaire, and you're going to be selling 7,810,000 because that's how many gamers out there. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm done. See ya. So please view this. Bye.